Talking about retirement this morning, and when we ring in the new year, we're also going to be ringing in some changes to retirement benefits.
Here to give us some more information is our financial consultant, Andy Barkate. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. How are you?
Good.
Fantastic, until we learn that we're going to be getting more surprises come 2012.
Well, actually, most of the surprises are good surprises.
Okay.
Remember last week we said we're going to talk about nothing but good things for the rest of the year.
Yes.
All
there we
positive,
go.
right. So if you're retired, there's going to be some positive changes, pretty much, that are coming at the beginning of next year. And if you're saving for retirement, the same thing.
Okay.
For those receiving Social Security, your checks are going to go up a little bit next year, about 3.6%. Remember a couple years ago, checks didn't go up?
Okay.
So retirees out there listening to this understand what I'm talking about. We're going to get an increase this year. Now, also, kind of on the negative side, if you're still working, you're paying into Social Security, which we all are. It comes out of our paycheck every month, every week. The amount that's going to be taxable for Social Security is going to increase a little bit too. So we're going to be paying a little bit more into Social Security. So hopefully we can get some out later on.
Okay.
If you're on Medicare, there's going to be some changes there, and they're pretty much not so bad as they've been in the past. Medicare Part B, which pays for doctor visits. Now, the premiums that go into Medicare Part B, they always tend to go up every year. Well, they're going to go up this year, but it's going to be a pretty mild increase, which is always a good sign. And also, folks that are using Part D, which is prescription drugs, which is a big deal for most people, there's something called the donut hole.
Okay.
And they're usually roughly the first $2,900 of medical expenses you have attributable to drug care is covered by Medicare Part D. And there's a big gap until about $6,600. So there's a gap that you have to pay for out of pocket. Well, that gap that is called the donut hole, it's slowly shrinking. Congress is trying to shrink that. That's shrinking again next year. For those saving for retirement, which all of you are doing, we just talked about it with folks from Schwab. That was a great segment, actually.
Thanks.
The amount of money you can put in your 401k, both of you, is increasing next year. So you can save more money, which is good. Now, if you're putting money in IRAs, which still a lot of people do,
right.
Some people can deduct those contributions, some can't, depending on your income level. Well, that income level, which allows you to put money in and deduct it, is increasing a little bit next year. So those that could save money in their IRAs but couldn't deduct it, check with your tax advisor again. Maybe you can deduct some of those contributions next year. Roth IRAs, which we talk about all the time on this segment. We like them quite a bit. A lot of people like Roths, but because of their income level, can't use them.
Okay.
So if you make a little bit, if you make over $100,000, $110,000 a year, you may not be able to use a Roth. Well, that level is going up again next year. So people that couldn't use it in the past may be able to, in turn, use Roth IRAs to save money a little bit more tax efficiently going into next year. So a lot of positive changes out there. Check with your tax advisor to see if some of these changes are going to affect you.
Okay.
Fantastic, Andy. We will. I'm sure I'm going to be giving you a call just a little bit later.
Fantastic.
Numbers. Don't deal with numbers. Andy, thank you so much. We'll see you back here on the desk next week.
Thanks, Crystal.
We appreciate it.